Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Alright, so I'm not sure how to talk about this, but well, first off, I've been an EMT just for a little bit, and like I ain't never experienced nothing like this. So as we driving back to base, I swear I seen a face in the rearview mirror. Like, fuck, I need to turn this engine off though, cause like we're gonna be stranded out here.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
I'm not trying to go back near this truck. I don't know if you see it, but can y'all see that back door? Like it just, like it just flew open. Like, can y'all, nah, what the? What was that? Can y'all see? Nah, hell no. Nah. Can y'all see? Oh, hell no.
I think this is one of those rare clips that aren't faked. I think this guy's really seeing something there. What he's seeing, I'm a little more confused on, but he's certainly capturing something weird on camera. I wouldn't even go as far as to say it's something paranormal, but given the time of day, the type of job he's working, and the dark, creepy alley that he's parked in, I could totally see how he could be freaked out by some malfunctioning lights in the back of an ambulance.
This was recorded by passengers who were on board the Viking Sky cruise in 2019. The cruise ship was off of the coast of Norway when it suffered an engine failure. Due to this, the ship continued to sway, causing damage on the inside. Take a look.
Alright, it's time to abdicate the area.
There were actually many attempts to rescue the people on board using smaller vessels, which were ultimately unsuccessful due to the rough seas. Norway sent their rescue helicopters towards the ship to airlift passengers out of danger. A day after the first engine failure, The crew managed to get the engines restarted, allowing the ship to make its way to a nearby port. Over 170 passengers were evacuated from the ship before the engines were restarted.
Cruise ships sound like a fun idea, but nobody ever posts videos about how safe the voyage was. All we ever get are videos like this one where it looks like the boat's going down and taking everybody with it. No thank you on that one. Think I'll pass. Think I'll just stick to pontoon boats.
I should be home in about 10 minutes. I need you to stay calm though, okay?
Okay,
So calm, quiet, keep the door locked. Alright, do not go out of the room whatsoever.
Is it on glass? Was it metal? What is it on?
I thought it was just like a big thud and
So you heard glass shatter.
yeah, it's been
okay, it's fine.
There's somebody
Okay,
there that can help.
okay.
Okay? Alright, I'll see you soon. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just a bit of advice for young men. If you're home alone at night and you have every door and window in the house open, don't go investigate the strange noise. Call the police and let them handle it. The cops were literally on the way and these guys go downstairs to investigate. If the noise was suspicious enough for you to involve law enforcement, it's probably not a good idea to go check it out with your buddies. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this kind of content, I post a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me.
I survived 29 missions in combat and came back on home. And when I was released back to civilian status, I was fortunate enough to get a job with United Airlines. And I stayed with them for 35 years until I reached the mandatory retirement date of age 60. The one and only sighting that I had was in March of 1977. And I was flying a DC-10. This is what it looks like on a flight from San Francisco to nonstop to Boston. And it was United Flight 94. We were about halfway between Buffalo and Albany at 37,000 feet. Cloud cover underneath, dark night, when all of a sudden the airplane started. It was on autopilot. The airplane started at about a 15-degree bank, turned to the left, and of course I looked out the window to automatically, that's what you do when the airplane starts to turn, and I saw this brilliant light off. And it's hard to tell exactly how far out it is, but it was very, very bright. And the first officer saw it. The second officer got out of his seat and took a look. And that's when the air traffic control in Boston wanted to know what was happening. So we told them when we figured it out, well, we'd give them a call. And about that time, the first officer hit the autopilot release button and went back to manual control. And as I was looking out the window, why this thing that we had vision, this thing that we saw, disappeared back towards the left of the airplane and to our rear at a very rapid rate. The whole event took place probably less than 3 minutes or so. The airplane was flying using the first officer's autopilot, which is connected to the captain's compass, which is out in the left wingtip of the airplane. And apparently, for some reason or other, the magnetic force was interrupted to cause the aircraft to veer off course, because it's hooked up to the compass. All three compasses were giving different readings, which is very unusual. So what we gathered was it was an enormous magnetic force in whatever that ball was that we saw out there, that white light.
I thought this one was cool because he describes their directional equipment as going haywire, and I'm sure we've all seen in the movies where the alien's about to abduct someone and the car starts going crazy and all the electronics start malfunctioning. Why is that in the movies? Is it because it happens in real-life alien encounters and the government knew to add that detail when they started putting out the alien propaganda movies? Very interesting.
I'm sorry, but what they're doing in South Korea is insane and you have no idea what's going on. So yeah, if you don't know anything about this and you don't know what's about to happen, you are going to want to watch this video, trust me. So when you look at this, you probably think, oh, it's the backrooms or, I don't know, inside of a theme park ride or something like that. But actually no, because this is an artificial sun that South Korea are making. There's lots of countries around the world now that are actually starting to make artificial suns. Why? I don't know. But this one, some pretty scary stuff has gone on in here, and just you wait. Basically, what they're trying to do in here is nuclear fusion. It reached a new record of holding it at 180 million degrees for 48 seconds. Probably wondering what nuclear fusion is, why do they want to do it? And I mean, well, that's it, just read. The benefits of it, this is basically the list of why people want to achieve nuclear fusion. Which I mean, kind of goes hand in hand with old 2030 project, doesn't it, if you know what I mean? And I was saying by 2025, they want to be able to hold it at 300 million degrees for over a minute. I mean, soon, who knows what will be possible. But please, this is in South Korea, do not let this guy get his hands on it, or we'll probably be putting people inside the damn thing. If I follow about, I'll keep you updated.
Honestly, I'm just glad to see alternative fuel sources are actually being researched. It seems like everyone's screaming global warming this and global warming that, but nobody's actually doing anything to try and solve the supposed problem other than putting more rules and regulations in place that make life for everyday people more difficult. At least South Korea is trying to solve their energy problems.
I just found out some new things about Eminem's new album, and I don't know what possessed this guy, but this is starting to get really creepy. One, his new album is called Death of Slim Shady, and the first thing that he teased was a trailer of a woman birthing a baby, and when the baby came out, it looked like the Antichrist. It had devil horns and all of this stuff. He just released the name of his tracks on his new album, and there's a song called Antichrist, and there's a song called Lucifer. Like, what? The next thing he teased was his album cover, and the symbolism is very clear here. I think we all know about this. Next, he teased this. It was a grave of Slim Shady, basically saying it feels so empty without him, and then he spits on it. The caption says Hawk Tua, absolutely cringe. And then just recently we got the track names. We see Antichrist, we see Lucifer, we see evil, we see somebody save me. I don't know what story he's trying to tell, but whatever it is, it's dark. Slim Shady is now gone and something new is being born, and it's very creepy.
I stopped listening to Eminem a long time ago, and I don't really listen to much rap in general nowadays, but I certainly won't be listening to this album. That track listing reads like an Illuminati calling card. If he's not a part of the Illuminati, it sure seems like he's trying to get recruited.
This terrifying video is by Dancer1, I'll tag it below, and I've featured him before infiltrating Bohemian Grove. But this time, he manages to capture footage of what looks like the cremation of care, which is the annual ritual-like celebration which just performed for all the Bohemian Grove members. And it's definitely pretty unsettling. Now he's only released a few clips, but he has plans to release the entire video soon. So definitely go follow him on his channels below. And let me know, what do you think?
This is cool. But I'm gonna have to step in if I see anything crazy going on. Security. It's on deck right now.
That looks legit to me. I don't even know how you would fake something like that, at least not without it coming out. You would have to get access to Bohemian Grove, which I don't see happening, and then you'd have to orchestrate a massive group of people in full costumes walking around carrying torches and fake chanting. I just don't think one could pull that off as easily as just sneaking in and recording the real thing.
The following video is footage from a police officer that was recorded in 2016. It shows the moment they discover Carla Brown, who was chained up inside of a shipping container. Carla Brown was a victim of serial killer Todd Kolek. Take a look.
Go. Do you have any weapons? Got me through, okay? What's your name? What's your name, man?
Lauren. Okay. Alright.
Just a girl.
Just a girl. How are you, honey? This is
bolt cutters.
This is our best. He's a paramedic. Sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get you out of there. Okay.
Just hang loose, Floyd. Anybody got? I need a handcuff key.
Do you know where your buddy is?
Charlie?
Yes.
He shot him.
Who did?
Todd Kohep shot Charlie Carver 3 times in the chest, wrapped him in a blue tarp, put him in the bucket of the tractor, locked me down here, and I never seen him again. Okay. He says he's dead and buried. He says there's several bodies dead and buried out here, and he says that the dogs will be ruined if they go looking because there's red pepper.
We're gonna step you out, sweetheart. Because there's what?
Red pepper.
Okay. Tell the.
Terrifying. That girl was awful calm for someone who just got saved from a serial killer. It's amazing to me how people react to traumatic situations. She was literally next on this guy's kill list, and she's just calmly describing for the police what the guy's name is and what he says he's done. I'd be a blubbering mess.
The flare rack for cloud seeding purposes. So nothing else is really out of the ordinary, you know, from the plane aside for that and the button to ignite.
Okay, so let's look at these things. So these are individual flares.
Yes.
And tell us about the material that you spray
So
in the cloud.
It's basically just silver iodide. It's injected into the cloud. Well, the cloud will actually suck it up from the airplane once you engage, and it'll just. It's a condensation nuclide. It'll just kind of collect more moisture and hence more the rain. We don't make the rain. We just help it rain more than it would.
Now we're in Texas, where the season runs, I think you said, from spring into the fall.
Yes, so about early April to late September is mainly the heavier period.
And how often will you fly?
Well, it really depends. Last week I did about 3 missions. This week I think I'm gonna do maybe 1 or 2. And there are weeks where we don't. It's just dry. We have a high pressure system flowing through, and it just really kills off any moisture in the area. So it really depends on what Mother Nature provides.
And how does it work? How does a typical mission work?
Early morning, I would normally get a message indicating the possibility of chance.
Cloud seeding is a real thing. There's your proof. The crazy thing is, cloud seeding doesn't even make any sense. If they're just trying to add to the rain, then what's the point? We've had regular rain providing for us since the dawn of time, and now we need more all of a sudden? That makes no sense at all. So what's the real reason for all this cloud seeding?
This creepy video comes from Rocky Mills on YouTube. I'll tag it below. And his channel consists of home repair videos and tutorials. But in one of his videos, he describes renovating a home from the early 1900s. And he's convinced there's a squatter living inside of it. And when the video picks up, he's making a dash room to room looking for the intruder. But what happens next is truly terrifying. Now it should be noted that this video's never been truly debunked, but let me know what you think.
The heck is that?
Hello? Who is it?
It does add a bit of credibility that this guy's channel isn't all paranormal stuff. But if I had to guess, he's either faking the video or he had a very quick moving squatter playing with his phone. I'm just not convinced this is real. It is certainly a fun watch though, and it's nice to see a supposed paranormal video that isn't just a chair being pulled by a wire. What do you guys think?
The northern lights are artificial. That's pretty much what it came down to. That whole thing that happened the other day where people were seeing the artificial northern lights, that's just science. That's scientists and HAARP and the weather modification programs which have been taking place since about the 1910 or 1920s. They're just messing with things, you know? I mean, next will be Project Bluebeam and aliens and some sort of like alien tax, and we need to band together against the aliens. They're just kind of queuing you up for that. So that whole aurora and everything, if they can fake the northern lights, they can fake an alien invasion. If an alien invasion occurs and there's a Google event or a sensitive event that Google has been talking about, you'll kind of understand why. The thing is when you're beaming radio waves, which cause health ailments, you can imagine what it's doing to the whole grid. Like people could go out there and go, oh, I'm seeing the northern lights. You're seeing something that's fake. And then who knows what's really happening with that. And that's the thing, these scientists who think that they're saving us, because it's always about the climate, that's what they tell us, they're just messing with Mother Nature. They think they're above Mother Nature. They think they're above how nature works. And they're just like, oh, we don't know what's wrong. We can't figure out the flooding in Texas and then New Orleans and Florida and whatever else. Well, because you're messing with the weather. You're messing with the weather on one side of the United States, which will then mess with the weather on the other side. It's common sense. What you do on one side will affect another.
So again, what's the real reason for all this cloud seeding? Why are they so interested in playing God? And are they actually shocked when they create these storms, or is that the whole point to begin with?
I was doing this video on my YouTube and Truth Repeater pointed this out to me. The seed of life pattern. Look how it's a circle going around this bigger circle. Of course it's in reference to the moon map, because the theory is this warming land circles around this in thousands of years, demonstrating what the clock in Prague seems to depict. But is that why this is called the seed of life? Because it's possibly the natural course of life itself on Earth? Some would say, no, it's just sacred geometry, it's just math. Okay, then why do things just keep stacking up and keep adding up? You know, maybe the moon map of Earth or the four-quarter theory is just a dead-end road. Who knows? But as of right now, it seems like a lot of things are just adding up in ways that they never have before. So I'm going to continue to look into it, and if you guys have anything, shoot it my way. And go check out my video on YouTube and see what I've gotten so far. It's on my link tree in my bio. Just click my YouTube. It's my last video I put up. Go check it out.
More evidence for the quarter theory. This is awesome watching this guy discover all this in real time. What I really like is that even with all the evidence pointing toward this new theory, he's still approaching it with caution and admits that he may be digging into something that's going to lead to a dead end. That's the kind of researcher you want to listen to.
Flat Earth versus Globe Earth is exploding on every social media platform, but there are no NASA employees on any social media app to defend themselves? I wonder if the Outer Space Treaty says we will not go and get into these discussions in fear of looking stupid. And why do they have a flat earth map as their logo? And where's this guy? Why isn't he jumping into the discussions and defending science? Why does NASA's YouTube channel have all of the comment sections turned off? Where's the crew from Artemis? Why aren't they jumping on social media platforms and defending the moon missions? Or what about our presidents from the United States? Why don't they come and defend our patriots who walked on the moon? I see no NASA employees trying to come and leave a footprint in this discussion. I only see NASA fanboys coming to defend the globe. Maybe that's the loophole. Maybe they are NASA employees. Does this outer space treaty keep you from sending a rover to the moon and turning it toward Earth and showing us a 24-hour live stream of the Earth just spinning in all of its glory? Is that much to ask? Or to hear something from NASA employees other than we took a flat map and wrapped it around a ball, or we don't have that technology, we used to, but we destroyed that technology and it's a painful process to build it back again, or we can't get through the Van Allen belt, or we have to push back Artemis 2 and 3 again, or we're building a train on the moon. I don't expect you to come and join the discussion on social media, but can you at least turn your comment section back on YouTube?
That's a great point I never really thought about before. Why aren't there any scientists out here defending the globe Earth model? If I had to venture a guess, though, it would be simply that they see themselves as so much more intelligent than a flat Earth believer that they don't see the value in arguing their ideas. That would be what I'd put my money on as to why we don't have any good flat Earth, globe Earth debates.
If I asked you what are the most dangerous psychoactive substances in the world, what would you say? Because a lot of times people bring up psychedelics, but check this out.
So numerous scientific investigations have had experts rank order the harms to the user and the harms to society in general across a wide variety of compounds, legal and illegal. And what's happened time and time again when people bring objective data to these questions, so at the top of the dangers list you'll get compounds like tobacco and alcohol. Consistently at the far other end of that continuum are psilocybin mushrooms, ranked as the lowest amongst all the major psychoactive compounds in terms of harm to self and harm to others. And LSD is in a very similar position.
What is crazy about this is psilocybin, LSD, peyote, these different things are classified as Schedule 1 drugs which have a high potential for abuse. But the data actually shows the exact opposite, meaning an overdose isn't possible. If there is an example of somebody overdosing, it's because they combined it with something else. More importantly, these substances are non-addictive. Can people abuse it? Sure, but nobody's jonesing for their next dose. They are completely non-habit forming, non-addictive. But most importantly, they heal. So there was a lot of psychedelic research that was going on in the 60s and 70s, but it stopped because of the war on drugs. And if you don't know about the propaganda and the hoax that was the war on drugs, that is a deep dive you need to go into. Maybe I'll make some videos. But Nixon did this whole war on drugs. Needed to make America safer, right? Wrong. The whole thing was created as a war against blacks and hippies. Literally, Nixon's own domestic policy chief admitted that it was against the anti-war left and black people. But there's a second renaissance of research going on. And what it shows about psychedelics is what we already know. They heal. They have been known to heal things like severe depression, anxiety, PTSD, end-of-life distress, and substance use and other abuse disorders. There was one study where 90% of the participants, 90% were cured of their symptoms after one single use. So why are they illegal? All I'm gonna say to that is go look at Big Pharma and their perilous effort to copy what naturally occurs in nature. Why did they try to copy it? Because it works, but if you can create your own man-made version of it, you can patent it and make a lot of money. A lot of these you can't patent. But that's not the reason why they're illegal, right? But the reason why I'm making this video is because someone else posted something about mushrooms and I saw so many comments talking about how you're all drug users, you're just druggies. If that's the way you think, I'm sorry, but you are so bought into the propaganda and false information. If you look at the data, there are very few substances that heal like these do. And when used responsibly and with respect, they can heal you and they will heal the world. We need to legalize it.
What a brilliant takeaway. If you can copy what happens naturally in nature, then market that product to sell, while at the same time making it illegal to use that version that nature produces, you just created an infinite money glitch. It always comes down to the money, every single time.
This is the reality check you didn't know you needed.
How long you been rich?
8 years. You've lost touch with reality. I feel like kids nowadays just got so much more resources and
No,
money.
they don't, homie. If you look at the starvation statistics in America, more kids will go hungry in America than anywhere in the world.
Yep.
More kids are eating at school than they are at home. I don't
As
know
that
what
is.
resources you talking about more kids have.
Well, I'm just talking about right now in current society. If you look on social media, I'm not in.
Hold on. But see, you speaking from social media.
Right. That's all I can speak on.
Community, the schools, the kids. I'm not up here with y'all, homie. I'm trying to climb up here. So the thing that I'm saying, I'm bringing from the bottom to y'all up here. And you saying, well, homie, most kids don't have resources.
Well, I'm just speaking on
Even on social media,
problems.
because social media is a facade. You never see somebody on social media say, boy, these my last $2 right here. They gonna come show you when they got their 500. You know nobody on social media say, man, here go the disconnect notice, man. I gotta pay these light bill by Friday. I'm 2 months behind. Social media show you the happy side. But if you look at the real statistics,
Like he said, it's all
homie, kids don't have a lot of resources.
I know plenty of people who would post on social media that they're down to their last $2. That's actually why I quit using social media, was because I got tired of seeing people I'm only Facebook friends with because we shared a math class in the 11th grade, airing their dirty laundry for the world to see. That being said, this dude is absolutely correct. We have the illusion of more resources because we have access to see those resources online, but not everybody has access to what they can see on the internet.
Depression doesn't exist. Depressed is deep rest. You are resting too much. You are not creating. The whole reason you are here is to turn thoughts into physical reality. Everything you see around you, this pencil was a thought before it was manifested physically. If you do not create, which is your whole sole purpose of your mind is here to create. If you are not creating and creation is minimal in your life, you will become depressed. You have to be working towards something in your life. You earn happiness. Okay? Everything you listen to, everything you see, everything you hear, all contributes towards your mental health. You cannot fix mental health with a physical pill from the doctor. You know why? Because your mind is not a physical thing. It's a spiritual consciousness. It's not physical. Your brain is not your mind. Your mind is the intelligence in the body. You have to control the mind to control your external reality. You see, where you are in life right now is a direct correlation with every thought you have thought up until this point. All of the thoughts you thought in the past has led you to this point. So what does that tell you? Your life, your external reality is a result of your mind. You change your mind, you change your reality. Stay wise, people.
To say that depression doesn't exist is quite a claim, and I'm not going to agree with that one because I know what it's like to get depressed, and it certainly feels like a real thing. However, what he's 100% correct about is that you can absolutely improve your mood by getting your hands dirty. I know if I wake up in the morning and immediately get something knocked off my to-do list, the rest of the day can all fall apart, but I'll still have a pretty good day. If nothing bad happens all day, but I don't get to actually do anything because of events outside of my control, depression sets in. At least that's my experience, so there may be something to this.
It's crazy to me that Coca-Cola initially had cocaine in their original recipe, but do you want to know what's crazier? Okay, stick with me through this. Okay, in a perfect system, the cravings that a human body experiences is because you need something, right? When a woman is pregnant, she will have strange cravings because her body needs certain nutrients. That's how things should work. But billions and billions of dollars are spent pumping chemicals into our food, tricking people into craving it, getting addicted to it. Not because you need that food, not because it's satisfying anything or doing anything good for you, all because the chemical is telling your brain you need more of this. So yeah, it's crazy. Coca-Cola used to have cocaine. That's incredibly addictive. They just replaced it with something else more addictive. They just put sugar into it. Like, we scoff, we're like, wow, they had cocaine. Sugar kills more people per year than cocaine. Sugar causes way more issues. Do you want to know why Americans have one of the most sugar-rich diets in the world? It's because sugar is so addictive. These companies know if they put sugar into their foods, you're going to crave it. You're going to become addicted to it. They're going to make more money. If it didn't make more money, it wouldn't be put into the foods. So yeah. We scoff at these guys for drinking Coca-Cola with cocaine. I'm sure future generations are going to scoff at us for having sugar in literally everything. Love you, bye.
What's even crazier is the study they released several years ago showing the brain scans of a person with cocaine in their system and another of a person with sugar in their system, and just how similar the brain scans looked as far as the area of the brain that was affected and the intensity of the effect. They were nearly identical.
Smoking, junk food, energy drinks, and school is now banned in the UK. This is wild, so stick with me and make sure you share with a friend. So today was the King's speech, which essentially is like talking to everyone about the blueprint of what the government and the King are basically going to do to the country. There's been a lot of new things coming out and crazy headlines saying certain things are going to be banned and whatever, but let me just actually get into the real stuff. So there's been people posting online this stuff basically with all these bullet points saying what's going to happen, but this was actually back last November with Rishi Sunak, although some of it does count because he did actually confirm some of it. So let me get into the key points. But first of all, they are still going to look to scrap A-levels, meaning you will have to stay in school till you're 18 doing maths and English, and you can't pick your subjects, so have fun, kids. They have to stop marketing and packaging on vapes so that they don't look as appealing, don't taste as appealing, and don't appeal to younger people. The smoking law is officially coming into place, so anybody who is 14 today will never be able to buy a packet of cigarettes legally. But apparently they're also going to be increasing the age limit on energy drinks and making them look less appealing as well. And the biggest shocker, junk food. They're going to stop making junk food so appealing. Don't ask me how, but apparently they want to stop people getting so much of this, so yeah.
A bill will be introduced to progressively increase the age at which people can buy cigarettes and impose limits on the sale and marketing of vapes. Ministers will also legislate to restricted advertising of junk food to children.
So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is this a good or a bad thing? Hit that follow button, I'll keep you updated.
I'm not gonna lie, this all sounds like a country that's actually putting some care for their citizens into their laws. I'll never be on board with a government telling its citizens what they can and can't put in their own bodies, but they could easily change this to regulate the production of these products instead of regulating the people and turn this into a good thing.
One of the most important analogies I've ever heard in my life was the ants in the jar analogy. Black ants and red ants will coexist in a jar together just fine until someone shakes that jar. And then those ants start blaming each other. And the red ants will tear apart the black ants will tear apart the red ants. And they don't even know who's to blame is the one that shakes the jar. So I want to encourage you guys today, this illusion of the powers that be, that they have all the power and control, the 1%, no, the superpower of the world is the people. Yet they use all these different tactics to divide us as people. Now you can call the red ants and the black ants whatever you want, but it's just different types of people. Now if we were to harmonize and come together under one faith and unity, we are the true superpower of this world. And they know that. That's why they need division. They need us to feel hopeless, helpless, weak, small, and all fighting each other so we never figure out that we are the power. You know, there's another analogy, and it was used in the movie, I think, A Bug's Life. It was those grasshoppers. Go watch that.
And there's your PSA for the day, ending the video on a good note. Don't forget, we are all just ants in a jar, and the elites are the ones shaking it and creating all these frustrations. Don't rise up against your neighbor, rise up with your neighbor. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat and help me support the channel. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.